Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a very special episode. I've always wanted to talk about some things from the 90s, from the early 2000s, aka my childhood. And one of the biggest things from my childhood was Pokemon. In Pokemon, if you're familiar with it, there are Pokemon. Those are things you can catch. Like this guy, Bulbasaur. He's one of the guys you can catch in the quest to get all the badges. I actually have a copy of all of them here. Boom! All the badges. I collected them all, even though they're fake. The goal is to collect 8 badges. You beat the Elite Four. You beat your annoying ass rival. You remember. What we're going to discuss today are the top 10 greatest Pokemon of Generation 1, aka the first generation that made from 1 to 151. From Bulbasaur, Charmander, Squirtle, I can't remember which one's first, all the way to Mewtwo and Mew, number 151. Buckle your seats! So first up, number 25, we've got Arbok, the Cobra spelled backwards. Commander Cobra, Cobra Kai. This dude is badass. It's one of the coolest snakes. And then you have Ekans, the pre-evolution that was snake spelled backwards. More than willing to be in the top 25. He wasn't necessarily competitively strong, but he was pretty sick. It's a freaking snake. Next up, we have Hitmonchan and Hitmonlee at 23 and 24. They're based off of Jackie Chan and Bruce Lee, but they're not. It's officially but unofficially based on that. Two of the greatest fighters of all time. You have to throw them in. They're great adaptations, cultural reference, kind of. Next up is Kabutops. Kabutops evolves from Kabuto, little shy, tiny little dome creature you get towards the end of the game. Kabutops with the freaking shiny, sharp claws. The frustrating part and why they're only number 22 is because you don't get him until the very end of the game, and he doesn't really appear very much throughout Pokemon, so I just had to put him at 22. At number 21, Pinsir. The dude's got like freaking teeth where his like abs should be, kind of. His guillotine, where like his, I don't know why he reminds me of a pretzel, but his like little like this thing is like, he can kill you with his like little ab teeth, but then like he can kill you with his little like pincer. I don't know. The dude's freaking badass. Next up is Machoke. The guy has gains for days. Can you see the stripes on his arm and like the championship belt on this freaking dude? Oh my gosh, this dude's so sick. Machop, not a huge fan of this pre-evolution, but Machamp, his final evolution is actually farther down this list, but Machoke, as far as design-wise, this dude's pretty cool. At number 19, we have Nidoking of the Nidoran, Nidorina, Nidorino, all of that like kind of band. I believe that Nidoking, especially this design, this old card, I think he is probably my favorite. The one that I almost always pick to be a part of my team. You get the pre-evolution, the first evolution, like very beginning of the game. And then like you evolve him with the Moonstone. I think design-wise, Nidoking, he was like a part of every time I would play Pokemon. I'd like throw him on my squad because he was like super strong and super cool. Magikarp makes the list here, and that is sort of surprising to people because he's a derpy looking Pokemon. But if you know the lore, you know that the story of Magikarp is that if they can jump high enough over a mountain, it will become a dragon, which is Gyarados when it evolves to level 20. Because all it knows is Splash, which, another fun fact, the move Splash, even though he's like jumping up and down, this is like funny, he's like flopping around, but like the move Splash in Japanese is actually like hop. And so that's what he's actually doing. He's not splashing, but he's like jumping or hopping. Because, and again, it's alluding to if a Magikarp can jump over a mountain, which some of them can, which is absolutely nuts, it becomes a Gyarados, which is how they become Gyarados. So, Magikarp's on there because he's derpy, but he's got a lot of potential. Next up, we got Squirtle. He is one of my favorite, I think he's my favorite starter. Out of between Squirtle, Charmander, and Bulbasaur, I have to pick Squirtle. I don't know, the face, cute for days, so he's on there. I only have Charmander ahead here just because I think that Charmander is culturally more liked than Squirtle. I could be wrong, but I like Squirtle more than Charmander, but I kind of put him ahead just because it is linked to Charizard, which is a lot of people's favorite Pokemon. Not necessarily saying it's mine yet, but Charmander makes it barely past Squirtle in my opinion. I'm also going to throw Wartortle in there right afterwards because I think he's my favorite secondary evolution. I don't know how these numbers, not necessarily, especially in like the anywhere from like 11 to 25, they're all kind of equal, but Wartortle's in there. I don't know why, he just kind of looks kind of like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. Kind of reminds me of that, like he'd be a member of those, like a little junior version of one. Next up we got Parleyworld. I don't know what he is, but he's just a cool guy. He's just Parleyworld. He's just like, you want to hang out with him, you know? It's just his little swirly gigs. He's like better than Poliwag. So he's like, Poliwag was just kind of like a pointless little tiny Pokemon, but then it's like Parleyworld. Like I'm like Mario. I'm Luigi. Like I'm a character now. Like you can play with me. So like, I think Poliwhirl is like a very solid middle evolution Pokemon. He's like another Pokemon that I would have a lot of times in my playthroughs with Pokemon. But he's also like really likable. Like you don't know where his mouth is, but like he's also like threatening. Like you're like, what can this guy do? But then like, I'm gonna invite him over for parties for sure. Next up we have Dragonite. This guy is so freaking strong in the games, it's like unbelievable. Like if you had Dragonite, which it took so much time to get to Dragonite from Dratini to Dragonair to Dragonite that a lot of people didn't actually get Dragonite, unless I guess most people, if you want to like play completionist way, you'd get Dragonite, you know? But the dude was overpowered beyond belief. But anyway, he's cute, kind of, but he's also very overpowered, and a lot of people either put in the effort to put him on team and then won every match, or I don't know. I just think it looks cool. Next up we have Poliwrath. Poliwrath is like, you invited him to the party, but now he's like breaking tables. He's cracking necks and cashing checks. Next up we have Scyther. Super sharp claws, one of the strongest like bug Pokemon, or I think he's bug maybe, bug or grass, like Pokemon in the whole game. So, I don't know. He looks kind of sick, doesn't he? I mean, am I